Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be talking about some of the best offensive lines in the country. This will be, our 8th out of 10 videos, so this should be, the Wednesday release, I believe, if I'm doing this all correctly. But, thought I would just talk about the offensive lines. They don't get the love as a lot of other people do, but this is what we're going with now. For up number 10, we have the West Virginia Mountaineers. Now, they are a bad team, very bad team, but their offensive line is probably their best position group out there. They've got Wyatt Milnum starting at left tackle, Thomas Rymack at left guard, Zach Frazier at center, Brandon Yates at right guard, Doug Nestor at right tackle. And I'll tell you right now, they're going to be one of the best offensive lines in the Big 12, if not the best. I know Texas returns all of their guys, so you'll probably think that Texas would be that team. But that's unfortunately, a really young group that had a pretty rough season. But with them all being freshmen, they're all returning. So their coach will not be around there long, but I'll tell you right now, that offensive line is going to be the reason why they have any wins whatsoever. I think it's the first time I said that they're not going to have a transfer quarterback starting in a long time. Garrett Green will be the quarterback there, and with as good of an offensive line as he has, I would say definitely the second best offensive line in the conference, arguably, and second on my list here for sure. But it's going to be a really good one that will get a lot of good push up front, and it's going to be the strength of their team. Again, if they have any hope of winning many games this year in the Big 12, their offensive line is what's going to carry them there, and probably one of the only teams on this list with that. But up next, coincidentally, we do stay in the Big 12. We have ourselves the Kansas State Wildcats. Now, this line is led by Cooper Beebe, the redshirt senior left guard, one of the best in the country and going to be the top guard off the board for sure. Left tackle is KT Leviston, center is Hayden Gillum, right guard Hadley Panzer, and right tackle Christian Duffy. Now these guys, again, a lot of experience coming back. We've got a redshirt senior, and a junior. So 4 guys there that it's their 5th year or more on this line. So they have a lot of experience and a lot of depth. We saw how good their running back was last year, Deuce Vaughn. They now bring in Trayshawn Ward, a new addition from the portal. I believe he's going to be the first running back that they're going to have be running back 1 and probably starting. And going behind that big offensive line, he's going to have a lot of success there. They've got a few pros on there, headlined by Cooper Beebe. Again, he's getting first-round grades. Just looking more specifically at Cooper Beebe, he had his first 2 seasons, he was at the tackle position, and now he's going to be the guard. He has got a 94 pass blocking grade, which is all offensive linemen in the country, and he hasn't allowed a sack over his 770 pass blocking snaps since 2021, which is absolutely unbelievable. So this guy is an absolute dog, and again, he's going to go super high in the draft. Probably the highest we've seen a guard go in a very long time, but he's also been able to play tackle. So I think around like the teens region, we'll not be surprised to see him come off the board. But that is why the Kansas State unit comes in number 9. Up at number 8, we have the Miami Hurricanes, led by their lot of transfers coming in. So they're going to have those guys going on. They've also got some freshmen as well. They've got Samson Okula and Francis Meggio to make up their 2 tackle positions. Apparently right now, Jalen Rivers is going to start over Samson, but that's just what we're doing right now. At right tackle, we have Francis Magula, though. Right guard, Anzes Cooper. Center, Matt Lee. And left guard, Javion Cohen. We've got 2 senior transfers coming in, 2 sophomores at tackle and guard, and they've got a right tackle that is a freshman. So they've got a mix of youth and of experience. So it's a really good combo there, even including their second unit. They've got 2 freshmen on that as well. So a younger group coming in with a few veteran senior transfers, which is a pretty good idea, I would say, especially when you're a Mario Cristobal, especially when you're an offensive line coach like he is. So that's going to be a really good addition there for sure. Other than that, though, they're going to look to probably run the ball a bit more than they have in years past. Henry Parrish Jr. and Donald Chaney Jr. are going to be the 2 backs. Probably they're going to get a lot from there. They've got a freshman transfer coming in, A.J. Allen, but I don't know if he's going to get as much looks as the first 2. But again, with that good of offensive line, you're going to make sure you have enough time for Tyler Van Dyke. He had a bad season last year, but it was definitely not only because of him. That offensive line was very bad around him. So they've invested heavily in it through the portal and through traditional recruiting, and I think that they're going to have a really good turnaround season. And it's going to help them win a few games that you probably don't see them winning. So shout out Miami, and that's why they're number 8 coming in on my list. Coming in at number 7, we have the USC Trojans. Now, they have a better unit than they had last year, but they have 3 transfers coming in. So the unit wasn't the best last year, but they've upgraded in 3 spots. They have Michael Tarquin, a redshirt senior, coming in at left tackle. They've got Emmanuel Pregnan coming in as a sophomore left guard. The senior Justin Dedich, he's going to be the center. They've got Jarrett Kingston coming in as a senior transfer at right guard, and they've got Jonah Miami staying at right tackle. He and Justin Dedich are the 2 returners there. The other 3 are added in, and those 2 returners both feature themselves very highly on a lot of returning production lists, especially for PFF. Jonah Miami is the 5th overall tackle returning here according to PFF. He was one of 4 Power 4 tackles with an 80+ on run and pass blocks, which is very important there. Joe Alt was the only guy higher than him, who's going to be probably a top 5, top 10 pick, is the only guy ranked higher than him in both stats. So really good stuff from him. You add that along with Justin Dedich. He was very close behind in a lot of the awards for offensive linemen out there. He was very good. He was a center. Andrew Voorhees is in the league. They started next to him. He's now in the league. So Dedich is doing a really good job there. He had a 90 pass block grade, which is good. And, you can see Caleb Williams doing his thing as much as you want. But if you don't realize that you need a good offensive line, regardless of how good your quarterback is, then I don't know how to tell you that. But they bring in some good running backs as well. And even Caleb himself has some design runs. So I think that we could see some more running from USC. But obviously it's still going to be a pretty high passing air raid style there. So that offensive line is trained for it, and they brought in the guys handpicked that they want to continue on. And I could see them winning the Joe Moore Award, not outright, but definitely in the conversation, because they have a very, very good offensive line sneakily out there for USC. Coming in at number 6, we have a team I mentioned earlier in Texas. They return a ton of guys. I believe the entire line is back. Yes, the entire line is back from last season. And they're really looking to build on this offensive line. It was a big recruit thing they've had the last few seasons, but they bring back guys like Kelvin Banks. He is one of the best guys out there. He is a left tackle blindside protector for Quinn Ewers. He was a true freshman last year starting, and he was a 5-star recruit, and everyone was really, really excited to see what he was going to do this year. And he had allowed a 3.5 pressure rate, and he had 98.4 pass block efficiency, which was second among Big 12 tackles. The only guy ahead of him was Anton Harrison, who was a top 25 pick. And he can be one of the best offensive linemen in this nation next season, but he's got to, boost up that run blocking a little bit. But with the loss of Roschon Johnson and Bijan Robinson, I think that they might not throw it. They're going to probably throw it a bit more than they would as much as they've in years past, but that offensive line overall is really good. They also got Hayden Connor, a junior left guard. They've got Jake Majors, a redshirt junior at center. Cole Hudson as right guard. He's a sophomore. And then redshirt senior Christian Jones at right tackle. But right behind him is Karen Williams, a sophomore. So they've got, again, a bunch of really young kids in this offensive line. So, a year or two from now when they got Arch Manning under center, they've got a really good, really strong offensive line unit that is going to be one of the better groups in the country, I think, going forward. I think they're only going to move up from here. On my list, they're at number 6, but I could see them even being higher than that going forward. At number 5, we've got the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, headlined by junior Joe Alt at left tackle. He was the highest graded and most valuable tackle, according to PFF, both wins above and every other stat he left in. He had a 91 run block grade and a 99 pass blocking efficiency, which is unbelievable. A lot of guys are saying that he's the best offensive tackle prospect that they've seen since Penn Sewell, who's on my line. So I can tell you from firsthand experience that kid can ball. So along with Joe Alt, they've got Billy Schreif at left guard, a freshman. They've got Zeke Carell as a graduate student center. They've got another graduate student, Andrew Christofak at right guard, and then Blake Fisher is a redshirt sophomore who's even getting some pro buzz already. So their 2 tackles are unbelievable, and they've got a lot of experience at right guard and center. And Billy Schloth is a guy that they've had a lot of faith in at left guard. So we will see how that line goes. Sam Hartman, obviously coming in as a transfer, really wants to make sure he's got some good things around him, and this offensive line is going to be one of the main selling points out there. They've got good tight ends a lot, but really good offensive line as well at Notre Dame. So that line is going to help protect Sam Hartman and hopefully beat the Buckeyes and a few of their major opponents like the Trojans out there. Really battle of the trenches when they play USC for sure. So up next, we've got number 4, the Penn State Nittany Lions. Similarly led by their left tackle, Olu Fashanu is kind of like the nickname they've given him, which is nice for me because Olu Maiwana is pretty hard to go for, and I'm pretty sure I butchered that as well, so apologize to him. Redshirt junior at the left tackle position. He is going to be a top 5, top 10 pick as well. Him and Joe Alt up there immediately going to be good picks there. Landon Tangwall is a redshirt sophomore at left guard. They've got Hunter Nosedrid as a senior transfer at center. They've got Sal Wormley as a redshirt senior at right guard, and right tackle is Caledon Wallace, another really good player. They've got really good experience in size and in everything, honestly, on their offensive line. It's probably one of their best position groups outside of running back room, and I believe that those guys are going to lead them very far in the Big Ten and potentially even, maybe win the conference their side. I don't think so, but I could definitely see it, and I'd be foolish to say it wouldn't happen. Looking at Olu Fashanu, he's a serious challenger to number 1 tackle in the draft because he's a very dominant pass protector, and he's hasn't allowed a sack yet in his career from 200 and even only 1 hit in 281 pass blocking snaps. He's got an 84.7 pass blocking grade, but unfortunately for him, he's a 59.4 run blocking grade, which needs to work on it. He's got 2 really good backs behind him, so if he gets anywhere above average in run block, this team could get scary quickly. But nothing like a really good, strong offensive line for your young new quarterback to step into, Drew Aller. I'm sure he'll appreciate that, and along with the running backs. So that's pretty much what we have for Penn State. I think it's one of their best position groups, again, like I said earlier. So watch out for them. Now we get into the podium places. We have Alabama coming in at number 3. They're always up here very high, led by J.C. Latham at right tackle. He's a junior. They've also got a sophomore, Tyler Booker, at right guard. Seth McLaughlin at center. They've got Darian Delcourt as a graduate student at left guard, and they've got Elijah Prickett as a freshman at left tackle, redshirt freshman. Behind him is Caden Proctor, a left tackle freshman that they stole from Iowa. He's a 5-star recruit, absolute mammoth of a human being, and really good get for Alabama there, help him flip out. Now, Alabama, they have a lot of good run blockers, which is what they're going to need because Jason McClellan, one of my dark horses for Heisman, is going to be relied upon very heavily, I would imagine, when it comes to this year because they don't really have the pieces and the traditional really good quarterbacks they've had the last few seasons that Jace is going to be heavily relied upon, and the run game is in general. Alabama, again, it's led by J.C. Latham is really the guy that's going to be leading there. He's an elite pass protector as a sophomore at right tackle. He's still there this season. He was an 84.5 on pass blocking grade. He has to work on his run block again a little bit at 70.9, but he also didn't allow a sack and only gave up 1 hit, which is absolutely unbelievable. And really pretty much similar to Olu, kind of stats-wise there. Elite pass blocker. Got to work on the run blocking and only allowed 1 hit and no sacks, which is absolutely unbelievable when you really think about it over how long these guys have been playing for. Number 2, we have the Georgia Bulldogs. This is a really, really close battle, and to be fair, I'm a Michigan fan, so I'm probably a little bit inherently biased there. Ernest Green III is going to be starting at left tackle since Broderick Jones left. He's a redshirt freshman. They've got Xavier Truss as a redshirt senior left guard. Cedric Van Pran, the center, is a redshirt junior. He's an unbelievable player. They've got Tate Ratledge, a redshirt junior, at right guard, and Amarius Mims as a junior right tackle. Now, while not many of these guys are really going to appear on your lists of best players out there, I'll tell you right now, they're one of the deepest guys out there. I mean, their size and strength and everything is unbelievable. All a bunch of tall, huge guys. And you look at Tate Rutledge is one of the guys that gets featured mostly on these lists, but really I think Cedric Van Pran could as well. But for Tate Rutledge, he had a really good job last year. It was an 85.6 pass blocking grade and only allowed a pressure on 1.4 of his pass blocking snaps, which is the 3rd lowest rate for any Power 5 guard out there. He was a redshirt sophomore last year, so now he's a junior, obviously, but he had a lot of production last year and is one of the only guys that really had a lot of looks on this line last year because I know they lost a ton last year to the draft. But listen, if you're a Georgia offensive lineman, you got to be big, strong, and fast anyway in pro bound, so pretty much anyone they plug in there is going to do really well. So, and then now looking at number 1, we have the Michigan Wolverines, the 2-time reigning Joe Moore Award winners. The line, we lost a few guys on the line last year, but brought them in with 2 transfers, and Ladarius Henderson at left tackle and Drake Nugent at center, replacing the 2 guys who went pro. Trevor Keegan is over at left guard as a redshirt senior. Senior Zach Zinter at right guard, unbelievable player, and then Carson Barnhart as a redshirt senior at right tackle. So all 5 guys are draft eligible, and I would not be surprised if all 5 are gone as part of Harbaugh's, said that 20 guys could get drafted. Those would be some of those guys for sure. 5 of the 20. Good little quarter right there. Center Drake Nugent comes in with Olu Oluwatimi leaving for the pros. He barely lost the award to him, but according to PFF, he's an upgrade. He was the highest ranked center on this list and was the most valuable returning one in the Power 5 according to PFF's wins above replacement. He had an 84.1 run blocking grade, which is 3rd among all centers. And you've got that good of run blocking over at Stanford. Now you got Corum and Donovan Edwards running behind you. Man, I'm very excited to see how that works for Michigan. And also featuring on the top 10 returning list, you've got Zach Zinter. He is the 2nd most valuable guard in the Power 5, only behind Cooper Beebe's unbelievable stats. And he only allowed 9 pressures on 389 pass block snaps, which is crazy. Michigan doesn't even pass the ball like that, but he's already a good run blocker. He loves being a pulling guard if needed. And he's, again, the main reason why Michigan won the Joe Moore Award the last 2 years and looks to three-peat in his 3 years that he started. That'd be pretty crazy for him. But I'm very high in this Michigan group and excited to see how it turns out. But overall, that's all I got. Let me know down below if there's any units I missed out on. I know Ohio State's got some really good interior offensive linemen, but their tackle positions are turnstiles at the moment, so they're not on this list. But anybody else I missed, please let me know down below. Hope you have a great day. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.